breaking news from the Middle East as Iran launches retaliatory strikes against Israel. These are the live pictures from Tel Aviv, where we can see huge plumes of smoke rising over the city. It's not clear if they came from missile strikes or the interceptions, but emergency services say 7 people were injured on the ground, according to the AFP news agency. This is how it looked about an hour ago, with air defence systems intercepting missiles above Tel Aviv. And we've also seen a big explosion. Not sure yet what was hit and of any confirmed injuries, but we are getting some images suggesting that a building certainly has been hit and some reports of injuries. Our colleagues on the ground say they've heard several window rattling booms. Our reporter in Jerusalem has seen drones. Israel says it's continuing its airstrikes on Iranian military targets, meanwhile, following that first wave of attacks last night, which hit nuclear sites and several targets in the capital. This video shows the aftermath of a new airstrike near Tehran in the city of Gandhari, and Iranian media say the country's air defence is now activated in central Tehran. A loud explosion's also been heard in Isfahan, and it comes after several of Iran's military leaders and 6 of the nation's top nuclear scientists were killed, with state media reporting that civilians, including children, are amongst the dead. Iran's airspace has been closed indefinitely, forcing hundreds of flights to take longer routes around the conflict zone. And in the last couple of hours, Russia's leader, President Putin, has spoken to both the Iranian president and the Israeli prime minister, condemning the Israeli strikes and offering mediation between the countries. Well, let me just show you also live pictures from New York, because the UN Security Council is about to start an emergency meeting to discuss the situation. We'll bring that to you live. The Iranian foreign minister has said that Israel has crossed every red line and the international community must not let these crimes go unpunished. Ione Wells, our correspondent, is in Jerusalem. Ione, just bring us up to date with what we know is happening in Israel with these strikes continuing.
That's right. In the last couple of moments, Iran's state media and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard have confirmed that Iran is indeed trying to strike targets in Israel. They have said that they are launching the 3rd round of missile retaliatory strikes on Israel. So that explains why we have seen images of drones, of explosions, both here in Jerusalem but also in Tel Aviv as well. Now, just earlier this evening, from where I'm standing, I could see a couple of drones flying through the sky here, some of which seemed to end in what were quite big explosions. We heard bangs, we heard a sort of low rumbling noise echoing throughout the city, which has been something that our colleagues in Tel Aviv have been reporting as well. Now, as you touched on, it's not clear whether these explosions are the sounds of missiles hitting the ground or hitting targets here in Israel, or whether they are the sound of them being intercepted by Israel's defence operations. Now, certainly Israel has said it is working on intercepting missiles, but it's clear that attacks are continuing on both sides this evening. Earlier in the evening, we heard as well from Iranian state media that the Iranians were working on intercepting further missiles in Tehran as well, and that and the IDF confirmed that they had now hit 200 targets in Iran. That's double what they had reported previously in the day. So, as was widely expected, we are seeing further escalation this evening. As I say, that was not necessarily a surprise after both sides said that this was now a war. The IDF had said it's war. Iran's foreign ministry earlier had said that Israel's actions amounted to a declaration of war. So it was expected that this would continue this evening, and we're waiting to see what the extent of damage will be throughout the night this evening.
Ione Wells for now in Jerusalem. Thank you very much. Just to let you know, we are seeing pictures there in Tel Aviv, where it does look as though at least one building has been hit. The Israeli Fire Service reportedly saying they're responding to major incidents from the Iran missile attack. Also that the ambulance service sending teams to areas hit around Tel Aviv. Apparently 7 locations, reports of strikes in the Dan block Tel Aviv metropolitan area, according to the Israel Ambulance Service.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakdash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to your Archeum, pushing in this word in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yassad back at you with another lesson. Well, it is edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So, hey, Justin, you know, Iran basically send out strikes, retaliatory strikes at Israel, right? Hey, this shows you that, as the scripture says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, because the remark of them of Iran is, basically, you understand now, hey, what Iran is doing, what Israel is doing, it basically had to have consequences. They had to pay for their actions, right? Yeah, and hey, this is something that we've seen that haven't happened in ages, right? The state of Israel, which was created through the Zionist movement and whatnot, these nations standing up against her, right? You know, it's 78 killed. Some of the top nuclear scientists as well were deleted, right? Because yeah, it is the inhabitants of our beloved land. They are not the true people, because we know if they were the true Israelites, there wouldn't be any more war, right? According to the prophecy, because when Yahushua returns, these nations gonna be beating their swords into plowshares to rebuild and cultivate and whatnot, not to destroy. Yeah, it's all prophecy speaking. Let's get into it. The book of Isaiah chapter 54 and 16. Behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So these smiths are talking about the same nuclear and missile scientists. You know, it's the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument of his work. And I have created a waster to destroy. So the Lord basically gave them the knowledge and the understanding to create these things. But it is for a purpose to bring destruction to this man's kingdom. Right? There's war in the land because, hey, the land isn't, the people, the true people of the land isn't on the land. Right? And we know the way of the wicked. The scriptures say, to whom will he do evil? He that is evil to himself, to whom will he do good? Right? Sirach 14 and 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he do good? He will not take pleasure in his goods. So this man, anyway you put this man, all we bring forth is what? Is death. As the Habakkuk says, you know, and this is basically the vibration the Lord stirring up upon the face of the earth, right? And so we're gonna bring in that time of World War III. But all these flying and missiles, soon it's gonna be a worldwide war. Habakkuk 2 and verses 5, ye also he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. Let's imagine, I think is the senator for Israel naming Gaza basically a estate bonanza, you know. Yeah, the Gaza Strip being a estate bonanza that, you know, they claim rights basically to that. That is you know, theirs. And they just do the destruction, and now they're gonna look to build it back up in their image. Let's say, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. Yeah, because as the scripture says, you neither keep it at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Because this is the nature of these people. They could never stop war. Right? The desire. The own neighbor next door, they require a land. And they will go to any means to get it. And it's as death. Because it brings death. The scripture talk about a mini red horse and can't be satisfied, but gather it unto him nations and heap it unto him all people. Right? The book of Revelation, Revelation 6 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and we know I think is Edom means red, right? And power was given to him that sat thereon to take what? Peace from the earth. So there's no peace in the land, right? Because with this man under the reign, he is not a peaceful man, and they should kill one another. Isn't that what we've seen happening? And there was given unto him a great sword. What is that great sword? That great sword in these time here now is what? Speaking on these wasters to destroy, right? Because again, the wars, you know, these things that you're seeing happening now is no more soldiers being sent out, men with guns and men with shield and swords and things. But hey, according to the Isaiah 9 and 5, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this, talking about this time, because I was given what? A great sword, but shall be with what? Burning and fuel of fire. So that is what is bringing that destruction. You know, Iran launched an ICBM ballistic missile on Israel. You know, because hey, you know, you see these particles when these dome system, missile defense system, deflectiles and whatnot hit the target. Where is that debris and fire and whatnot headed? It's going right on the earth, so that's falling on people's house, deleting people, falling upon people in the streets, you know. So that is why the number would actually be on all high, because it is particles of these missiles coming with fire and whatnot, right? Yeah. Let's see if I get the Ezekiel, because hey, Joel, another Joel. Yeah, Joel 2 and 1, blow ye trumpet in Zion, and second an alarm, sound an alarm in my own mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of gloomy darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. They had not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even 2 years of many generations, because that vibration of bringing in that World War III is in the atmosphere. The fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burned it, and that is a waste to destroy. Right? These missiles and nuclear bombs. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing escapeth them. Yeah. Right? The appearance of them is as the appearance of horsemen, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Because you see how these missiles was moving, before they would be intercepted. Like the noise of a chariot on the tops of the mountains, they shall leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble. You see, just a flame of fire coming. As a strong people set in battle array, before their faces the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. And hey, just so you're gonna be in Babylon when that 200 missiles warhead, come into Babylon. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war. And that wall going into the defense system, the nuclear defense system. Because they advancing into hypersonic missiles that are basically undetectable. These older model dome system missile deflectors, the missiles that they're making now is basically beyond that it's undetectable. And they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall they trust another, they shall walk everyone in his path. Going back, being shot to the mark, to the destination. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Right? Yeah. To bring that Revelation, I think it's 11 or 14 and 3. No. Nah. Right, 11. Revelation 11 and 14, it says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. It's a destruction. Right? And again, the war is gonna be with fighter jets, aircraft carriers, submarines, nuclear missile equipped. That is what is coming. Because the scriptures speak of these things, It's in Matthew 24. Matthew 24:21, for them shall there be great tribulation. Because the reason why the tribulation is not going to be much greater is because the great sword also was given, that these nuclear missiles, these ICBM missiles, the devastation and destruction that it brings forth, it's real terrible. Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no ever shall be. Now jump into verses 6. And ye shall hear, Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation. Isn't we see now upon the face of the earth? You know? Iran against Israel, missiles back and forth. And kingdom against kingdom. Venezuela, the US against them. Well, it's the Ukraine and Russia war. China with Taiwan in defense of Babylon. Stretching the arms to every war and every corner of the world. It ain't gonna stop. And there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Yeah, so the prophecy is speaking. So hopefully this was a divine all praises to Yahweh Hashem Shai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, our great millstone. Salute unto you, Archeum. Shalom.